I've got some pretty decent results with printing miniatures using my FDM printer. So this is the photo of the most successful results so far. This is straight out of the printer with no post-processing or no any kind of removal of stringing whatsoever. So you can see like there's a little bit of scarring, a little bit of stringing, but overall the print quality is extremely high. So this is the same model in the Orca slicer. I am printing it using Qidi Q1 Pro printer using 0.2 millimeter brass nozzle, and I'm using Qidi PLA Rapido matte filament for that. The process is I'm printing at 0.04 millimeter layer height with 0.14 millimeters first layer height. I'm using the precise wall option and Arachne wall generator with minimal wall width of 60%, minimum feature size of 15%. Everything else is pretty much the default for it. There's default value of 2 wall loops there. I'm using a concentric top surface pattern, gyroid and fill, and concentric internal solid and fill pattern as well. This somehow this helps with the finish quality. I've tried both of them. I've tried both concentric and the default rectilinear, so concentric results in better quality somehow. The infill combinations are on. I'm printing it at 100% speed most of the time. So speed settings are not changed. There are no supports because this model doesn't require any supports. The things that I've changed in the filament settings is I'm printing at a slightly lower temperature at 205 degrees, which is the recommended temperature for this filament is 210 degrees. I'm using 210 for the first layer, and then all other layers are at 205. And printer-wise, extruder-wise, I'm using 1 millimeter retraction length with a retraction speed of 40 millimeters per second and an increased travel distance threshold as well. I've tried different options between 1 millimeter and 2.5 millimeters retraction length, so 1 millimeter gives the best results so far. Here's how it looks in the slicer. So it's pretty normal. There is 2.5 hours model printing time for this particular miniature. And next I will show you other results that I've got from here. So this is this miniature right here. This is it from a different angle. If you really zoom in extremely close, you can kind of see the layer lines, but other than that, they're really hard to spot in real life. The phone camera really does a great job at amplifying all these small defects and problems. There is, in real life, this is hard to distinguish from resin quality at the first glance. And this is the benchmark skeleton. So the skeleton unfortunately has a lot more issues, but again, all these small things can be cleaned up. And also, again, this is straight out of the printer with no post-processing. Again, no layer lines are visible. The small details are all there. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So these are the same miniatures that are after post-processing. I burned off the stringing using a lighter, and I did some minor cleanups using a X-Acto knife. This is the Barbarian that I've shown you, that was shown in the slicer. This is the benchmark skeleton. I overdid the burning a little bit and charred the shoulder of the skeleton, but I think it looks cool anyway. And these are the halflings from the halfling set. All models are from Arbiter Miniatures. I'll leave a link to my mini factory tribe page in the description. This model in particular had quite a bit of scarring on the scepter there. So this is my 3D printer setup, and this model has just finished printing, so you can see it's 2 hours and 4 minutes in total. Oops. I'll turn on the light. If you zoom out, if we zoom out a little bit, so this is a pretty regular GD Q1 printer, and the model is straight from the oven. Like, it's pretty gorgeous. There is a little bit of stringing, which I'm just gonna use the lighter to burn it off, but otherwise the quality is extremely good. The setup that I have is this one. So the printer is sitting on a concrete pavement tile that I've got in the local hardware store, and the tile itself is sitting on 4 layers of thick rubber. This part of the setup was absolutely critical to reduce the vibrations of the 3D printer, and this allowed me to print the miniature at full speed instead of 60% speed. So the miniature was printed at 100% speed. I tried before that, I did not have the slab, and I couldn't print at this quality level at 100% speed. Now I can. So the printer setup is fairly standard. The x-axis is well lubricated. There is no modifications to the printer, except that I had to go and manually re-level the bed using the screws, and I also had to disassemble the hot end assembly and tighten some bolts, because there were some bolts in the assembly that were loose, and this was noticeable at this layer height. And this is a pretty standard filament. It's using a broken spool is also part of the, it's also an essential part of the setup. It adds to the vibe. And yeah, that's about it.